Hello everyone, this is Sharon Munoz, and thank you for everyone letting me know that the sound of my last video wasn't working, so we're trying again. So, I live in Sacramento, California. I live here with my son, Santiago, and my husband, Abraham. My son is 2.5 years old, so he's very rambunctious and all over the place, but we love him. Let's see. One of the things that we love about Sacramento is that it's pretty family friendly. We can go almost anywhere and there's going to be other parents of young kids, which is really reassuring because we're kind of all there, even without speaking to each other, in solidarity of raising young children in an ever-changing world. So it just feels good to know that there's other families out there. The one thing that I don't love about Sacramento, though, is the driving. There's usually almost always construction going on, and that has led to a huge increase in accidents. So for insurance purposes, we have a dash cam now. So thankfully nothing has happened to us. But yeah, we have to be very attentive on the road. Let's see. In terms of my preaching experience, I have been able to preach at a small congregation, an ELCA congregation here in Sacramento, and I've been able to preach there, for the last year, and I've preached at least once a month, and before that I had no experience. But this church, I've walked alongside them kind of in grief, because right when I came in, they had just had to let go of a senior pastor that they had called because their former pastor had passed away. And so they have gone and are still grieving kind of like the vision that they had for their church, as well as, kind of navigating, decreasing in size because of age. I mean, this is an aging congregation. A lot of them are retired professionals, and families have just gotten older and they've moved away. Another thing too is, granted with all of this, it does influence how I preach, because I do want to speak to their reality as a grieving congregation, as well as, older people. So trying to navigate that, being that I'm younger than them, I don't feel as mature in the faith as they do. So kind of just like crossing generations to reach to them, to connect with them, is the hardest part, but it's also the best part, because I feel like I'm doing something that I honestly never felt comfortable with before. I was in youth ministry prior to seminary. So yeah, kind of getting over my internal timidness with speaking to older people. And yeah, it does go into how I would like to grow. Not only do I want to find my voice in preaching, but I also want to get better at internalizing the message and making it be able to connect to multiple generations, not just the one, and just be able to speak into different experiences, different lived realities. And yeah, I'm a Latina in a predominantly white church. Like, how much of my experience and the experience of my community, and being a child of immigrants, and then being a wife to an immigrant, like how can I bring all of this in? Should I be bringing it in? And so a lot of that comes into play, and I just want to be more confident in that while also handling it gracefully, and with wisdom. One way that I've seen the beauty and grace of God through a cross-cultural encounter, it would have to be my own life. I'm Latina, and as a Latina growing up, I lost my mom at a young age, and I lost my dad to deportation. So I lived alongside my siblings through the foster system, like through the loss of our two main parents, which is, in the Latino community where we're very tight knit, that also came with the loss of everyone. We were cut off once from all blood relatives, from all community, once we entered the foster system. And by the grace of God, granted, it was a tumultuous time, and it was dangerous, because to survive the foster system is a feat in of itself. And to come out on the other side, and to even be sitting here, that's by the grace of God. But then to be able to leave the foster system because I was adopted is a whole nother thing. I mean, I was adopted by a wonderful family, but they're white. And so, you know, they're bringing these children into their lives that they don't know much about. They don't know about their culture. How do they respect their culture? How do they get them to stay connected without them losing themselves? And so being able to navigate out all of that has been a journey, and it's been long and it's been difficult because of the internal struggle of like being bicultural in a way, you know, being of Mexican descent, being Mexican, and yet not feeling entirely like I belong in that world, while also navigating as an American and navigating alongside, you know, my husband's own immigration story and his testimony. So yeah, I mean, it's every day. And then living in a city where we're deep in a community of Black and Latino, and we're all facing the same fears of immigration, especially with everything that's going on. Like how do we stay together? How do we replace that fear with peace? I mean, it's an everyday thing. But we're all there for each other, and the community is strong here. So yeah, just being able to see everyone in this city, again, being family friendly and being able to like be within spaces where, you know, we are aware and we are doing our best, and yet we are advocating for each other. I mean, it has been incredibly important for us. And yeah, and I appreciate everyone for listening in on this too, and I appreciate the space to be vulnerable, which, you know, brings me into one way that everyone can pray for me. I'll be praying for all of you as well. But yeah, I still struggle with navigating motherhood, ministry, being a stay-at-home mom, while also discerning the call to ordained and full-time ministry, while also thinking, you know, there's a lot of things that come into play. I mean, and, you know, recently my son was recently diagnosed with autism, and you know, I'm also in the middle of a diagnosis myself, and so trying to navigate, like, having answers, but also feeling relieved, but also like, oh, okay, everything is making sense. But really just navigating the grief of what I thought was truth, to now like accepting our new future. So I would appreciate prayers with all of that. And yeah, thank you again. And I look forward to growing alongside everyone this term. Thank you.